North Carolina is one of several states challenging President Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship. The president signed the order last night. People who are born in the U.S. are natural-born citizens, regardless of where their parents are from. It's specifically laid out in the 14th Amendment.
This is an extreme and unprecedented act. This isn't just an attack on the law. It's an attack on the very fabric of this nation.
Again, North Carolina joined that lawsuit with other states. President Trump also declared a national emergency at the southern border. That will allow the Department of Defense to deploy armed forces there. And Trump shut down an app that allowed migrants seeking asylum to book appointments. In Mecklenburg County, Sheriff Garry McFadden is preparing for the possibility of immigration actions here, but he says he still wants clarity on how to handle the recently passed law that requires him to cooperate with ICE. Channel 9's Joe Bruno is at the Mecklenburg County Jail tonight with a look at what McFadden is planning. Joe?
Well, as you saw from my report last week, North Carolina has a very large migrant population. The sheriff expects ICE to take action here, but he doesn't know when. In the meantime, he's hoping to meet with state lawmakers and ICE as things get ready to look dramatically different in terms of enforcement than they have in the past 4 years.
We're not going to block anything that ICE can do because they're the federal government. They do what they needed to do.
Sheriff Garry McFadden says he hasn't heard of any raids or targeted enforcement operations by ICE in Mecklenburg County, but he expects them to happen eventually. President Donald Trump's border czar says ICE is starting its work focusing on known public safety threats.
They know exactly who they're looking for. They know pretty much where they'll find them.
Sheriff McFadden says ICE still hasn't picked anyone up from the jail following the passage of HB 10, which requires sheriffs to honor detainers. 67 have been issued since the law's passing at the end of last year.
The sheriff and
North Carolina House Speaker Destin Hall told me last week that the state may consider changes to the law to require sheriffs to notify ICE before someone with a detainer is released. McFadden wants to meet with lawmakers before that happens.
If they say, Sheriff McFadden, come to Raleigh, I pay my own way, I have all my expenses. I just want a meeting to say, what should I expect from you? How should this better work?
He's heading to D.C. on Sunday and hopes to meet with ICE.
We're asking for cooperation. We're asking to have a seat at the table. We shouldn't have two tables.
Again, the sheriff says he is not aware of any planned raids or targeted enforcement by ICE, but he does expect it will happen eventually. He also says that some people want to make Charlotte an example. Reporting live outside the jail, Joe Bruno, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Interesting new comments from the sheriff. Joe, you've been all over this one. Thank you for the update.